Hello. Welcome, everybody. So, welcome. Happy holidays to you all. So, let me see. There we go. It's going up. It's going up. Oh, it snowed. It snowed here. I don't know if it snowed in your neck of the woods, but it did snow here. But now the sunshine is out, so it's probably going to melt. Kind of odd weather. I see in the Okanagan Valley, they even had some odd winter weather. I think it was 21 degrees Celsius for December in Penticton. Crazy, crazy, crazy weather. From the rainfalls that have come in, made, the flooding to a heat wave in December. So there is some crazy weather happening, and not only here on the earth, um but there's crazy weather happening astrologically. Oh my lord, yes. It's kind of, I'm going to call it hairy carry, kind of like a little bit nutty type of energies that are coming forth, and a lot of topsy turvy type of energy. So it's like, hang on to your sleigh and those reindeer as we are going through some crazy curves, especially with this new moon solar eclipse coming. So welcome. So I'm hoping my notifications went out today, and I'm just double checking on everything on my yep. Yep. So it's out there. Oh, well, that's okay. I can talk to myself. There's nobody here. So I'm not sure who's there, or because I can't see everybody who's out there. So I can't see everybody who's out there. So I'm just going to continue on and do my thing. So let's talk about some of the energies right now, and that's going on. And as people come in, yeah. So what's December 2nd? To make sure I always put the date on my notes. I don't know about you, but I've gone back into my notes and I'm like, when did I write this? And I have to go through a few pages to see when I did write it. So putting the date is very important up there. So this week is still a purging. Of course, this is a purging week. It's letting go. The vision quest is started. So waiting, it can't be sitting around waiting to be saved. That's for sure. But it's letting go of the ego, and our ego, our attachments, and especially with a dark moon. So we're in this dark moon phase. The solar eclipse is coming. The solar eclipse is coming. And it's to pay attention and not get carried away. This is 19 years of stories that are ending, because the nodes are every 19 years, right? So 19 years ago, the nodes were where they are now. And so this is where we're looking at what we are ending. So there's some stories that we've carried for a long time, and many of them are no longer in our alignment. We're not doing them anymore. And then we have the moon. The moon is trining over to Neptune. And what truly do you want to let go? And this is where, with all of this Neptune energy and Neptune coming in, it is a releasing energy. And it's about where our future is going, and we want things, where are we going, and continuing to go to things in our lives and keep showing up to things that are not there. So there's a lot where our ego gets attached to different things or different ideas in our life, and we continue going to that. That's what we're going to. That's what I always did, and it's like, this is where it's keep the physical things to try and do that, but it's letting go. So try odd things, making us disconnect. And this is a part of my life, and that is a part of my soul. And I've always done it this way. And this is the way we're going to do it. but it's coming into your intuition and really following that intuition, right? Coming into that depths of your intuition. And because your intuition is going to lead you to where you need to go. And there's lessons with Saturn and Aquarius, there's lessons to be had. And then we have Mercury or Saturn in Aquarius, and then we have Uranus in Taurus. Now, the funny thing is, ha 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 ha, since for this year, there's always been a square or a sextile or a trine to Uranus, except when the moon was in, except with the with new moons, except when the new moon was in Gemini, because the new moon in Gemini was right next door to Uranus. But for this year, we've had some energy that has to do with Uranus. And to the degree, so this is very spellbounding. This is very where we have to really start looking at, what is happening, our emotions, what have we been working on, not only for this year, but throughout all of the energies. And even with the full moons are at the same degree for the past, well, it's going to be 8 full moons and 5 4 more moons, I believe 4 more moons, full moons are all going to be at 27 degrees. So this is huge releasing. This is huge when it comes to the collective, and the collective thoughts, ideas, beliefs, and values are all coming up. And not only with them, but within our own personal lives. So people are going to be looking at their journey, looking at their soul journey, and some are going to be projecting things. So there's going to be projection because they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to work with that. So there's a projection and anything and trying. And this is where, because it's like trying to find that tribe, trying to find that connection. And we could be attached to, there's a, like, I'm going to call it this invisible energy, this intuitional energy that's coming through, that is guiding us towards the newness, guiding us. And are emotionally having the hardest time to purge. Our ego's having a hard time to purge. So sometimes you may not have a word for it, but there's an emotion with it. And with that emotion, to let it go could be a releasement where you just start crying. You just have to let it out. And that letting out is allowing for that releasement, allowing for it to go. Many times in Kundalini yoga, we do poses, and then you're doing this pose or you're doing this mantra, and you either start laughing like crazy and you're like, why am I laughing? It's like, I shouldn't be laughing right now. And then break out into tears. It is an emotional release. And that's too with Neptune going direct. So there's an emotional release with everything that is coming in. And this is not serving us, things that are not serving us. And as Neptune goes forward and direct, it is letting go of that and thanking God, thanking the goddess that, yeah, okay, I am letting this go. And the lessons, as I was saying before, with Saturn and with Uranus, it's the attachment to the things we might not, that are not best for us. So we have attachments that we know aren't the best for us, but we see forward, and this is letting go of the detachments. So yesterday, and I was mentioning about cutting cords. So we're cutting cords, we're letting go, we're moving into this new direction, and we have to cut the cords. The cords need to be cut because they're either draining us or sucking our energies, and we have to release it and let this go. And with Venus slowing down, this has to do with money and relationships, and reveal things that have never been revealed, revealing things that we have not noticed before. 8 years since she's been in Capricorn retrograding. 8 years. But the last time when she did this, was Pluto there? Yes, Pluto was there. Because Pluto's been there since 2008. So Pluto was there 8 years ago, but not at the furthest degrees as what he is now. and she didn't retrograde on top of Pluto. So that's the difference here. So there's a retrograde that she's going to be retrograding on top of Pluto and passing over him 3 times. So there is a energy that is very revealing. We also have with that square, with that Mercury squaring Neptune, it's a spell wonder. Now, going back to when Mercury retrograded in Pisces in 2020, that's when the spell was cast. There's a spell that came upon us or upon many people. And now we're having this square. And this is, if it has no facts, observationalists, this is like looking at what that spell is, looking at what that is all about. And this new moon with Uranus. So this is looking into the future and looking at what we can build better for the future. And when we look at all of the new moons that were either quincunxed, trine, squared, we've been going through this month after month after month. We've been going through this energy of releasement month after month. And this is where this is about the world and how we can manifest it and bring pieces together and how they're going to come together. So this is very much an adventure that we're heading on to. And there's a lot of volatility with it. There's a lot of fire energy that comes with it. Now, that volatility also comes with Mars. And Mars is coming off the trine to Neptune and is going to be squaring Jupiter. So we're going to see people and really connect with, we're going to be finding those connections with people that we want, but we can't push it. We have to allow for those doors to open. So as we're waiting, we are releasing, we're purging, we're allowing for this, whatever attachments to be let go of. And we have to be honest. We have to be honest with ourselves. We have to be honest with, is this truly in alignment with us? And those things, and honor, and this is looking at these things and it's honoring it. It's not, see, I know people, I chose the name, the Guru Mama. I chose that name, the Guru Mama, out of humility, not to say that the guru knows everything, because I certainly do not. But it is to show people or help people or guide people to be that teacher, to show or help and guide that even when things muck up and even when things aren't going in the direction that you think it should be, that it's okay. And that through my experience, I can help and guide others. And that's even for your own self. And the highest honor is that you don't know everything. That's what it is. With this Sagittarius energy, it's about honesty about what you know and what you don't know. But know enough of what isn't good for you and move to the positive. So there's optimism and positivity that is there through all of this. But again, it's going back in and it's trusting your intuition. It's trusting your instincts of what is there and the things they have and the things that need to move away, and admit that sometimes you just don't know. I just don't know. And moving forward from it. So there's not going to force you to believe, not going to force you to do something. This is allowing for an educated decision to be made with you and within your own intuition. And this is whether or not you try it out and get there or not. It's not that every teacher is going to align with you. Not every place is going to align with you. It's seen. This is like, okay, I align with this person and this person, but these two people I don't. And that's okay. And this is what's going to teach you. And this is the way. And not all will be aligned. And that's what I want to stress. And even with this, Uranus is coming in with this eclipse, the solar eclipse, it's going to be a little weird because there's going to be some alignments that you're going to like, really? Do I align with that person? And it's allowing us to go on and to go on to this newness, this new energy. But we're not going to be able to see. Now, the thing is with eclipse, things can change within an hour. Like boom, you're here one moment, you're gone the next. It's when you go into work and then your position has been dissolved. They no longer need it. Or you get a notice you have to move. It's like within an hour, you're like, what? Or that you find out the person that you're with, you're no longer with them. They come in and say, I'm going. So these are the things can happen with eclipse. Bang, it's here one day, gone the next. And we're seeding with an eclipse this new story and what it is going to be like. Now, Mars squaring Jupiter, and at least, it's going to be sextile. It's going to come into a sextile to Saturn. So there's this harshness to it. And the thing is, Jupiter can hype things up, make them, make it more crazy than what it is, right? So this is, again, you got to come back into your grounding. You have to come back into your root chakra, bring forth that grounding. And really, sometimes you have to take things and hold them. And here's my, this is appetite. Okay, I'm going to just take the appetite and just hold it at your heart chakra and say, ooh, it's cold. And ask, which way do I go? Is this person right? Or is this job right? Is this where I need to go? And trust in that. Trust in that. And even take it down to the hara. The hara is just below the belly button. And that hara is your shamanic center. So take it and ask it again. Ask the same question down to the hara and hold it there. And then go within. So do this 3 different times. The heart, the hara, within. Asking, then releasing all of that needs to be released from that, or what has been holding you back, and releasing it with love and light. And asking for that releasement to happen. You may have to do this more than once. This is a clearing, and sometimes a clearing doesn't happen all at once. Anybody who's done spring cleaning, you do a sweep, and then you're like, you have to do another sweep. Then you got to do a mop sweep, and how this is looking at. There's still a lot of things that could be there. There could be little gritty parts that are just wanting to stay on, but you are cleansing and clearing it. So doing that 3 times from the heart to the hara within and going within, you're going to get. And now if you get different answers, as it can happen, then sit back. Don't act. Don't react. Sit back and say, okay, I need to mull this over. I need to journal this out. I need to really look at it maybe in a different angle, or ask in a different way. So this is allowing you to really look at things in multiple layers and going with that. And that's coming in with your beliefs and your values, because your beliefs and values are going to be changing. We've been noticing that, and we've been seeing it, where people are like, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. And boom, they change. Right. And this is where, and especially with that square with Mercury to Neptune, that square that is there is looking at what is that tension that has been tense in your life, that of what you want to communicate. And the thing is that Mercury's in detriment, so he doesn't like to be there. And Neptune is at home in Pisces. He's in charge, man. He's coming in full throttle. He's coming in. He's going forward. It is full throttle. It is full on, saying this is where it's going to go. This is what needs to be let go of. This is no longer aligning. This is where you need to go. So it's kind of like a rip tide that comes in. Now, a rip tide, when it comes in, you don't try and fight it. You go with it, right? You swim with it, and you swim on your side. So that's the thing. It's like if you're trying to fight this and say, this is the way we've always done it, and this is the way I'm going to do it, you're going to find that it's going to backfire. It's going to backfire. It's not going to work out. And with the moon squaring Jupiter too, there's an overinflation that's coming in. We're in a dark moon in Scorpio, and Scorpio's in detriment. Like it doesn't like to be the moon doesn't like to be in Scorpio. So we have this dark moon that is very volatile and coming forward, and it's anger, emotions, overhyped. This is, coming in, and then with all of the Sag energy, it's like very bipolar. Energy really manic, positive. And if that adventure doesn't come true, that door doesn't open, this is where people can become depressed and um, hopeless and feeling overwhelmed with it all. So we got to watch our emotions too. We got to watch where this is happening, because this can be overinflated, overhyped up. This energy can really bring in some crazy manic energies. So honoring you, that's why it's sometimes saying, okay, I don't need to go on there. It's like somebody's coming up and saying, and you see a carload of people and they're saying, come on, let's go, let's go. But you see that they've all been drinking. Are you, but your friend's saying they're fine, they've only had one beer. Are you going to go in there? This is where the weirdness comes in. It's like, okay, no, that's not, I'm clearing that energy. I'm not going towards this. And Venus slowing down, it's getting into weirdness. It's getting into some weird cray kind of energy. And even with Mars sextiling over to Venus, it's weird. It's questioning and hopes and clashing. What do I like? And questioning, don't know which door to open, and I'm going to push it open, and it's got to be this door. This is the one I always had. You know, this is, with Mars squaring Jupiter hard. It's trying too hard. You're over pushing. Again, we go back to the heart. Put your hands on your heart. Use one of your crystals. Put it there with your crystals. If not, you can bring in essential oils and put a drop of essential oils, whether it's clary sage or bergamot or sweet orange. Fennel is really nice. I'm just intuitively coming through with these different oils. Frankincense and myrrh, very nice. Maybe burning some of that incense today, bringing that in, maybe having a candle with frankincense and myrrh. Ooh, yeah, that sounds good. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be putting some frankincense and myrrh in my candle, and burning that, right? So that's bringing in that cleansing and clearing, right? So this is where, with this transit, it's what is, things are, and I got concreting, things are cementing in. So this is easy to sense. And this Sag transit that's coming forward, what beliefs are trying to be thrown out? And, this is where we're seeing there's things, information coming up about domestic travel, not only in the United States, in Canada. I mean, they're now saying, they're not going to take a test with anybody 12 and older. You have to be elixired. And this is where it's like, what other things are happening in the United States with different types of domestic travel and lockdowns or not lockdowns, right? So we're going back to that, where Mercury's squaring Neptune, and when Mercury retrograded with Neptune in 2020, with all the Capricorn energy, right? People bought a spell. We were told, only 2 weeks to stop the spread. Okay. So people complied. Funny stuff underway, media challenging. And we're going to have a lot of challenges with with this. I mean, Roe versus Wade in the United States, they're looking at overturning that. It's huge. It's a huge one. So we're seeing these things happening and questioning, at least looking at our own personal life, and if we are vetting, are we letting go and feels and what's intuitively. So this is where this energy is, and it's a lot. This week is a lot, honey. This week is just crazy, and it's bringing that in, and what spirit is saying, and our soul, it's the divine alignment, it's the change, it's extremely stepping in, and this is where we need to go. And specifically with the dark moon, Thursday, Friday, today and tomorrow, new horizons, infinite possibilities are there. When we are coming into our alignment and into our intuition, there's infinite possibilities. There's infinite doors, infinite ways of restructuring. That's why things have to get dismantled. That's why things can no longer. It's like when people say, like, they're protesting and they're upset with government, or they're upset with organizations. And you got to look at, okay, there's got to be, it's not going to change until it's dismantled, until something else really comes in to create that change. Because otherwise it's not, because they've gained so much power, they've gained so much. And that's even within your own life, to look at things within your own personal lives of, sometimes there's things that you feel so invested in that are no longer aligned, but you're hanging on to it. Like, I remember when I was so invested in my store, and I wanted it to work, and it got taken away from me, through my own stupidity, and not, it was through my blindness that I wanted this so badly, and, caused not only myself pain, my family pain. This is, transitioning and change, but you could be so invested in something that you want it to work, but it doesn't. And that could be with you've been investing with this one person all your life, mom invested with this guy, dad invested our finances with this guy, and now it's like saying, why are you doing that? Systems are changing radically. People are fighting up against Bitcoin. They don't want it, yet governments are trying to make regulations on it. So there's change that's there. We may not like it. I remember when my dad got a debit card, and he goes, "Why would I want a debit card?" Like, he's like, he'll have his check, and he can write out his check and write down what it is. He got his bank statements every month, and he balanced it right down to the penny, right? And if it didn't, he would go in there and talk to him, even if it was a penny out. Even if it was a penny out, he was a lovely old man. But this is where it comes forward, right? This is where it's like change is inevitable. Change is there. Sometimes we don't want to go with it, or sometimes the change that is coming in isn't the change that it should be. So this is because our intuition is saying, no, this isn't right. And, thinking about some of the things that my dad did, it's like, they might seem crazy now or crazy then, but now you look at it, you're just like, wow, that was pretty smart. Understanding totally where your money is, your finances. He knew. Didn't teach me, but he knew, because he didn't talk about money, so that was the bad part. So maybe it's a conversation you have to have with your children about the money, about where the money comes from, how to save, how to create abundance in their life. So this is about to create the new systems in our life. That is to be optimistic and hopeful. And instead of looking at the cracks, the walls, the crumbling, and Pluto has been in Sag. So Pluto in Sag with the solar eclipse and the South Node. This is a whole nother direction. And this is a whole nother way of entering into the world. And that's where we're heading. Since Pluto has been in Capricorn, this is to remind ourselves that this Sag new moon south node didn't have all this Pluto energy. And with Venus going retrograde in Capricorn with Pluto, these are structures that are over 240 years old. We are in a huge time of dismantlement. And this is erasing since then another load. He's been erasing since 2008. Came the crumbling of the market with housing and everything. And so they bailed it out. They printed money and they bailed out and they bailed out and they bailed out and they bailed out. But did it really fix this? Did it really fix it? It might have seemed so. Yet we're seeing things crumble again. We're seeing the hyperinflation. We're seeing our systems are weak. They're not strong. We put too much faith into maybe one energy or one place or one country. And we're seeing that, whoa, that's not a good thing. We're going to be seeing things that are coming up within certain countries. China, Saudi Arabia. All of those are going to be coming up in some way. Israel, we're going to be seeing things, and maybe not right away, but things are rising. Things are rising to the surface because things are going to be changing. The UK, things are going to be changing dramatically. They've been, I've been trying to find more information about people from northern France trying to get into England. You're going to see England putting up their borders. They're not going to be allowing people in. They're an island. They're not very big, and they've been already having issues with certain cultures coming in and clashing. So it's like, okay, we want to be inclusive or exclusive. Inclusive, I guess. Yet the clashes are there, but we got to come in to say, what is it that we want to do? And in looking at things, I was wondering, like, why didn't they want to stay in France? The reason why, if you stay in France and you become a resident of France, you don't claim that you're African or Irish or Middle Eastern. You're now French, because now you become a part of that country. You become a part of it. So to be a part of it, you have to be one, and you have to learn French. That's one of the criterias. You have to learn French. That has to be your main language. But when you go to other countries, that's not necessarily true. We allow, you to keep your culture, to keep that. But the thing is that these clashes are coming in. The clashes are coming in because we have to have an integration. We have to have a change of how this has to work so that we can come in with the harmony. But we are at the forefront. We're at the ending and the forefront of change. And with Pluto at the helm, I'm going to say Pluto's at the helm. Yeah, he has all of, like, yes, in comes Neptune, in comes Uranus, and Uranus is going to be squaring Saturn. And we have Venus going retrograde. We have all of this that's coming in, and all of these different crew members that on this big ship that's directing us to a new way of living and a new way of thinking, a new way of creating, and wanting to give you the facts and not fall under the old or the new spells. So we have to release it in order to have the newness. And it's like a triangle, right? You have like, lettuce and tomatoes. So you have lettuce and tomatoes. You can chop them up and make a salad. How are you making that change? What is your triangle? Maybe the triangle's not working. And that's what Pluto does. He puts that stressor on it. It's a stressor to say what isn't working. And especially now that Venus is coming in. So this is changing a structure because new information has evolved, new ways of looking at things have evolved. Yet there's systems that are there that saying you have to do it this way. You have to, if you don't do it this way, you might hurt that person. And you're like, well, I don't want to hurt anybody, but that's not what I'm not going to abide by that because that might hurt me. And I have to honor that because that's where my intuition is. I've seen a lot of people go back and fall underneath the spell. And that's part of their earth walk. That's part of their journey. And for whatever reason. But you're seeing things that are coming in that are shattering their reality. That are coming in and dismantling what they thought because they thought, well, if I do this, I'm going to be able to do all of that. And now all something else comes in and says, oh no. So this is why I said from the very beginning, I said to people, December is going to reveal so much more about what is happening and what the truth of the spell is. And we're going to be starting to see more of what that truth of the spell is. And it has nothing to do with the 2 weeks that said we're going to stop the spread. There's something bigger at large. And we got to think of what happened 19 years ago in the world and where we went and what we believed. And we followed that belief. And now we found out it's not true. And many with their own intuition were like, yeah, I didn't think it was. So it's big changes, new seeds. There's a lot of positive hope that's coming in. And even with Mercury, when it stops, it's square to Neptune, and it's going to sextile over to Jupiter. It's going to bring in some positive hope. There's going to be some energy that's going to bring in this newness, and we're going to feel, okay, this is what I want to start doing. But when you start focusing all the cracks and everything that is falling apart, then you can go back into the illusion and maybe want to tape up all those cracks and say, oh no. Got to let the cracks happen. You got to let the walls crumble because you're standing in your light. You're letting go of what no longer aligns with you so you can stand forth and have a better way of living, not only for yourself, but for your grandchildren and for your great-grandchildren. So we want to continue on and we want to break a cycle. And that's all part of it too. And it's a huge cycle that we're breaking. Man, we signed up for some crazy earth walk, haven't we? We signed up for something enormous and transformational. And you know what? Each day we rise, we must give thanks to the God and the Goddess. We must bless the Lord and the Lady for all that we have and all that's on the way. And be very thankful and be very supportive of one another. You will find that there are going to be a lot of false energies, false prophets, I'm going to say, coming forth. You're going to be finding that there's going to be a lot that are going to try and steer you in a direction that is not for the highest good. And so again, you go where you are, that would go to the energies that you feel trusted. Go to the, it's like this is where I'm going. This is where I'm heading. I'm heading in this direction. Trusting in, because your inner guidance, this is your navigational system, is on high alert. It's showing you. And the thing is that if you're feeling very mixed and mixed reviews, take a moment, write this all out. Take a moment, bring in your crystals, bring in Archangel Michael, bring in fennel keeps coming in. So I got fennel, bergamot, clary sage, sweet orange, rosemary is showing up now. So these are some of the essential oils that you can come in. and bring that in. The other thing I want it, and we're going to change it, just change this around quickly, is baking. What kind of things do you want to bake? So the reason I'm bringing this up is because baking can be very magical and in creating something that is magical. So whether that is the different types of cookies, and bringing those cookies in. Cookies are a very Christmassy activity, very Advent energy to bring forth into your day and bring that magic forth. And you can make different like sugar cookies or chocolate chip cookies or I used to make a candy cane, a one. It was a peppermint one, and sometimes it was a peppermint mocha one. So, but the thing is that as you're making it, blessing, blessing what you're doing, or as you're stirring, you could do a pentagram into the dough as you're stirring it, or as you're doing the folding. um, Putting that in, and even if you have to add a little bit of salt, taking that salt, holding it, putting it into what you are doing, creating that magical energy within what you are baking. It's also helping not only you but your family to hold this energy, bring forth this energy into your realm. So bring forth that positive energy and baking. Share some cookie recipes out. Share some different um, recipes that have been part of your tradition and sharing them out with others, or even you can put some on my page. Sharing that out because this energy or this transformational energy is going to help to create, and it helps to create community. Food always creates community. Coming around, having food, sharing food, talking about food. It is a beautiful way to come together. It's a beautiful way to unite one another. And who doesn't like a good cookie? Just saying, who doesn't like a good cookie? So share some of those recipes out, and enjoy. So, and that really helps to move your energy too, and uh, push things into a new direction for you. So it's amazing what cooking and bringing these substances into your home, and the smells, and bringing that aroma around. So definitely begin to create something transformational for you all. Sending you guys out so much love. The extravaganza is still on. I have the readings are on for $75. I have the new moon readings. If you wanting a new moon reading, they're $25. And I will be putting packages together for if you want new moon readings for a whole year. So there'll be packages that'll be together. So if you want new moon readings for a whole new moon and full moon readings for a year, I'm putting it out at $400. And that gives you 2 months free, I believe, or 4 months free, actually. I think it's 4 months free. Anyways, you get a couple months free out of that. So so we have that's happening. Um Angel Workshop. The Angel Workshop will be starting in February. The Angel Alchemy Workshop will be starting in February. I'm going to be doing planetary mapping. That's going to start in January, a week after the fairy workshop. So there's lots of different workshops and everything that I'm offering. I've been around for a long time, so I have a lot of I got a lot of cred, people. I got a lot of cred. So I just didn't pop up on the scene yesterday. So I'm going to send you guys out with so much love, and may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all that you be and all that you do. Have a blessed one, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.